Hi all, Hipper here. I thought I would just do everyone the courtesy to give a review of Star Wars Squadrons. Uh, it's a game I've been looking forward to for a while, and that's primarily because of the customization it supposedly offered, which it does. I can say that it does. Uh, I was hoping it would be very much like another game I really like, which is World of Warships Legends. It is. Squadrons is a little bit more, well, actually a lot more fast-paced. But other than that, the games are actually quite simple when it comes to customization and the abilities to personalize your ship and your pilot. All right, so first things first, you get the ability to set up your pilot pretty much the way you want. Of course, the modification aren't as detailed as games like Skyrim or anything like that, but it's okay, especially for a game where you don't really actually see the pilot much anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. So you can choose heads and outfits and body types and stuff like that. That's pretty much standard for the genre. Now the game starts off with forcing you to play two missions. One is the Empire and one is the New Republic. I did that, and like I don't like that. I don't like being forced into having to play the campaign before I can do anything else. But other than that, the campaign is solid. Well, as solid as it can be in a game where you pretty much do the same thing the whole time. But if you if you enjoy flying starfighters and shooting down other starfighters, this is the game for you. If you don't enjoy that, you should probably not buy it because that is all you do in this game, pretty much. Uh, it makes it sound very simple, but it's not, and that's why I like this game. It looks simple on the outside, but all the customization options you have on your ship and the way you can customize the controls exactly the way you want is pretty awesome, and you'll need that because the controls are, well, they're a little bit confusing, especially in the beginning. It takes a while to get used to it. There's so many axes and rolls and yaw and pitch, and uh, at the same time you also have to manage your energy and route the power to the best system at the time, and there's a lot to keep track of. And of course, at the same time, flying around, aiming at enemy ships, and try not to hit anything, which I have been doing a lot. I still haven't worked out exactly the best way the controls work for me, though. It'll take a bit of getting used to, and trial and error, that's for sure. But other than that, the campaign seems very solid. I've done like 5 or 6 missions, and so far I'm not disappointed. But then again, it's pretty hard to be disappointed with a Star Wars game, isn't it? It's really hard to mess up a game where everything is handed to you on a silver platter anyway, and all you have to do is just make it work. Anyway, the campaign is fun, and you get to experience a lot of the stuff from the movies and also some of the Star Wars books, and there's a lot of lore in there. And I mean, fighting it out next to a Star Destroyer, that's always fun, isn't it? Even when you die, like I do here, and I have been dying a lot in this game. I'll admit that. Anyway, like I said, the reason I love this game is the customization you're able to do, and also obviously that you are able to set up the controls exactly the way you want them. That's so important. I said that before, and I'll say it again. Um, the customizations don't actually make your ship better. It just gives you a different way of playing. And so far, there's no microtransactions or anything like that. So you can only earn the upgrades in the game by playing your way through it, which I'm sure some people will think is good. There are four models in the game: A-wing, Y-wing, X-wing, and U-wing, and hopefully they will add more. I'm I'm hoping down the line, and of course, like as I'm assuming everyone else will do, I'm heading straight for the X-wing in this game. And you'll be able to like choose different lasers, for example, or put cannons on instead of lasers, or there's a whole heap of different components that you can add to each category that'll help you personalize your ship and make it fit with your playstyle. For example, the standard lasers, I didn't really like them much. I much rather prefer to have like harder hitting lasers that only shoot every 3 seconds, for example, like that. That fits my style better. So I ended up putting that on my ship, and it worked out much better than the standard lasers. And I've like tailored my ship for maneuverability and speed, and so far that's working out. I don't know if I'll keep doing that, or maybe I'll make it pink, like in this case here. But the options are there, and you can change it all, and it's not just cosmetic. Of course, some things are like these kind of silly stuff here, like changing the holograms and like the little dashboard figures you have. And actually, don't put that in your ship, by the way, because it takes up your view, and you will need every inch of glass that you have. Because so far I haven't been able to find a chase view, so you have to play the game from the cockpit. So obviously, the more you can see, the better. And I actually think that gives the X-wing pilot quite an advantage, because you'll be able to see much more compared to TIE fighters. Now, like I said, some things are unlocked from the beginning, and some things you have to work your way through. For example, these guys down here. But again, there's no microtransactions, so far. So you can grind your way to the whole thing if you want to. The multiplayer in the game is pretty extensive, I think, for like what is a pretty narrow game. So you have the dogfight, which is basically just deathmatch, and then you have fleet battles and fleet battles versus AI, and you also have a practice area that you will be using a lot. Trust me, when you set up your ship and your components, it's absolutely invaluable. And also the fleet battles tutorial is something I recommend going through before you start your first battle. I didn't do that, and that was on purpose. Also, like it's telling me here, I think you should practice first. I didn't do that for this battle, but I think that was the first battle I had in this game. Dogfight is incredibly fun, and fleet battles is also good fun. I prefer dogfights though, but maybe they'll change over time. Who knows? So here I'm jumping into a dogfight, and I think it is my first battle, and that was back when I only played the game for 10 minutes or something like that, and I didn't really know what I was doing. But it'll give you an idea of what goes on, and how difficult it actually is to keep track of everything that's going on at the same time, and not hitting space debris, and not getting torn to pieces by missiles, and all the stuff that goes on around you. Like I said earlier, I was hoping this game would be a lot like World of Warships, but it is... oh, we had a nice crash there, because I didn't invert my controls for this one, so I'm having a bit of problems there. Like I said, I was hoping it would be a lot like World of Warships Legends. It's not as comprehensive though, even though you can set up your X-Wing the way you want it. It's nowhere near the complexity and the depth that World of Warships Legends offers. I am thinking though that probably they will release more stuff for this game down the road. I'm hoping anyway. Maybe even stuff that you can buy instead of like working your way through inside the game. Now, what you get in Squadrons is a pretty solid campaign with lots of cutscenes and a very nice Star Wars feel to it. I actually really enjoyed the missions I played, and I'm sure I will enjoy the rest. It's pretty good. You also get a very solid multiplayer mode with like dogfights and fleet battles, and especially fleet battles are a lot of fun. I suppose, of course, better if you team up with some friends, as in every game. But even alone, it's fun, and I mean, you'll be able to really get into the whole Star Wars thing. Now I've played the game for probably 5 or 6 hours now, and I'm pretty well into what it's all about, and I have unlocked quite a bit of stuff already, and I'm enjoying it more and more. The more stuff you get access to, the more you're able to personalize your spacecraft, and the better you'll do in battle, and of course, the more fun the game will be. So I can definitely recommend to grind it a bit before you head into to multiplayer. It makes the game much better, uh, and then practice a lot before you take your ship out. I still practice all the time. I've only done maybe half a dozen multiplayer battles, something like that. There we got absolutely whacked there. Flew into a metal wall. Beautiful. Um, Now, of course, I should also mention that each of the four ship classes have uh, very different and distinct things they have to do. Um, like if you're in a support ship, like a U-wing or something like that, you can actually supply the other players with well, supplies, and like you're playing a completely different role in a TIE bomber compared to a TIE fighter, and especially in the campaign, but also in multiplayer. So it's a it's a question of finding the ship you like the best, and then setting the controls way up for the way you like the best, and then grind your way through the game to get your upgrades, and then figure out which upgrades work best for you. So that just doing those three things will probably take most players at least a few weeks. And then when you have your starfighter set up perfectly with all the upgrades that you want and you think are perfect for your playstyle, that's when a multiplayer gets a lot of fun. Like I can already see that I haven't unlocked nowhere near everything yet, but I have some of the stuff that I wanted in the first place. And like I said before, it makes the game much, much more enjoyable. Like really a lot. It's definitely worth it. So in the end, I'm not disappointed in this game. It's not as deep as I thought it would be, but it's good enough, and I'm sure I'll enjoy playing it. Uh, I won't play it anywhere near as much as I play World of Warships Legends. I played that game more than any other game I've ever had. So anyway, to get back to Squadrons, it's definitely worth a buy, and just make sure that you realize that it's nothing else but space battles in fast Star Wars flights. That's it. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this quick little review here, and Hipper out.